step into the arena, RCMP plus. It's not luck, it's logic. Bang, that's a power bomb move right there. Light it up, baby, fella. Woo, that's fantasy fireworks. Buckets, baby. Ain't no rivalry like an RCMP rivalry. From stats to smack talk, where trash talk meets true talk. It's not just fantasy, it's legacy.
Welcome back to another episode of RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops, the most chaotic, dramatic, beautifully toxic fantasy basketball league north of the border. I'm your host, Tommy Douglas, holding it down as always, and riding shotgun with me, the man who swears he's never wrong about a trade, even when he's definitely wrong, PG. What's happening, brother?
Tommy, I'm great, I'm locked in, and Week 6 gave us everything. Trades, heartbreak, blowouts, close calls, we got it all on today's show.
We're diving into all the madness. Week 6 matchups, every storyline, that big Pinguinis Alphas trade, the playoff picture shakeup, rumors, and of course, a preview of Week 7. Strap in. Let's get into segment 1. We start with the Power Bombers taking care of business 1,205 to the King Cobra's 904. And this wasn't close, PG.
Nope. Power Bombers got steady production across the board. Shy did shy things. Franz Wagner popped, and the big man rotation, Duran, Allen, Pultel, all showed up. Meanwhile, the King Cobras, man, when your IR slots are basically your whole core, it's rough.
They're trying to trade Chet, and at this point, maybe they need to. This roster needs a jolt.
Now this one was a battle. Z Tigers, 1,270. Guardians, 1,212. And it came down to the last damn day.
Anthony Edwards dropping 221. Josh Hart, 213. Z Tigers got 2 of the top 3 scorers in the league this week. Guardians fought. Maxey and Cade kept them alive, but it wasn't enough.
Z Tigers moved to 4-2 and keep themselves in that playoff home seed hunt.
Alphas, 1,439 points. Biggest score of the week.
That trade hit immediately. Kawhi and Porzingis show up from Pinguinis, and boom, the Alphas erupt.
2 balls, 1. Hoop had Giannis, and the guards cooking, but couldn't keep pace. They dropped to 4-2, but still sitting in a good spot in the East.
Tommy, the Ballers can't catch a break.
They finally score well, 1,161, and they still run into the only team that scores more than them this week. Dunkin' Donuts puts up 1,311 and walks out with the win.
This team is 0-6, but they're not a bad roster. Jokic, Embiid, Zion, they're producing. It's just the universe hates them.
Pinguinis take the loss here after the big trade. 950 to Jokie the Goat's 1,203.
Pinguinis were missing Wemby. KD didn't go nuclear. And Karl Anthony Towns' first week back with them wasn't enough. Meanwhile, Jokie Thegoat gets solid production from AD, Siakam, and Bane.
Jokie Thegoat climbs to 2-4, and Pinguinis fall to 3-3 and fall out of the playoff picture for the first time.
Notre Dame Time. 5-1 now, baby.
Luka with 210 this week, 3rd highest scorer, and the rest of the roster is just locked in. Meanwhile, pad foot toes, this was never going to be close without Sabonis, and with Curry being inconsistent.
Notre Dame Time is not just winning, he's hunting. He's literally calling every GM in the league trying to get Chet Holmgren.
And he might make it happen one of these weeks. And that wraps Week 6 matchups, a wild week, with movement everywhere in the standings.
Coming up next, we'll dive into the rumors, notes, and the playoff picture update.
You're listening to RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops, Tommy Douglas and PG in the booth. It's time for segment 2, where we hit the rumors, league notes, and update the playoff picture heading into Week 7.
We start with the same man, who wakes up every morning thinking about how to flip his bottom feeder players into an all-star Notre Dame Time.
He is still trying to get Chet Holmgren from the King Cobras. And PG, I swear he has offered every player on his roster, not named Luka or Bam.
Bro, he's offering so many package deals. I thought he worked at Canada Post.
One day he's gonna wear the Cobras down. But as of week 6, Chet is still a Cobra for now. Next, the Ballers. Look, they finally put up a strong week. 1,160. 1 points, and they still take an L.
It's unbelievable. Every week they run into a buzzsaw. This time it was Dunkin' Donuts dropping 1,311 on their heads.
They're 0-6, but this is not a bad team. Jokic is cooking. Embiid is cooking. Zion is cooking. It's like a curse, man.
If they play literally any other opponent this week, they win.
We also gotta highlight the Z Tigers and Guardians matchup. Maybe the game of the week.
Yup. Came down to the final day. And the Z Tigers rode Anthony Edwards and Josh Hart like Secretariat.
2 of the top 3 scorers in the entire league this week were Tigers. That'll do it.
And of course the big one. The first trade of the season.
Pinguinis send Kawhi Leonard and Kristaps Porzingis to the Alphas for Karl Anthony Towns.
A blockbuster. A multi-franchise shifting event. And the Alphas immediately exploded for 1,439 points.
Pinguinis are betting big that KAT can anchor their team with Wemby out. Time will tell. And now, your updated playoff picture after week 6.
Biggest storyline here. Pinguinis drop out of the playoff picture for the first time all season.
And at the top, Notre Dame Time is not just holding the Hasson seed, he's building a cushion.
Power Bombers and Z Tigers also look legit as top 4 threats.
And don't sleep on the Guardians. Even after a tough loss, they're right there. That's your league buzz and playoff landscape heading into week 7.
Coming up next, we're looking ahead at the week 7 matchups and who needs a win the most.
You're listening to RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops. Stick around. Welcome back to RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops. It's Tommy and PG. And now we shift into week 7 matchup previews. A huge week across both conferences with playoff seeding tightening up.
We start with the Someone Has to Win Bowl, King Cobras versus Ballers.
Cobras are trying to stay in the playoff picture. Ballers trying to get their first win of the entire season. And honestly, this might be the week.
Ballers come in hot after putting up 1161. If LeBron, Jokic, and Embiid all stay healthy, Cobras better be careful.
They're beat up Trae Young, Paolo, and Poole all out, so this might be the Ballers' best chance yet. Next up, Dunkin' Donuts versus Notre Dame Time.
Donuts have quietly won back-to-back weeks. But NDT is 5-1, rolling, and Luka just dropped 210.
Donuts need the upset to stay in the playoff chase. But NDT has Fox, Bam, Vuk all heating up. They look like the best roster in the league right now.
This one right here, finals preview potential.
Only if Joe Kiethagoat actually sets his lineup. Man, been asleep at the wheel all year.
Power Bombers are hot, winners of 2 straight, and SGA is playing like a demigod. Joe Kiethagoat needs Garland, Siakam, and AD to go nuclear.
If he doesn't start optimizing his roster, this could get ugly fast. The Toes versus the Alphas, 2 teams feeling very different.
Padfoot Toes got blitzed last week, and they're still missing Sabonis, still missing Cam Thomas. They are hurting.
Meanwhile, the Alphas just had their best week of the season, 1,439 thanks to the new additions, Kawhi and Kristaps.
This might be the mismatch of the week. Alphas have a real chance to push to 4-3.
A rivalry matchup, Guardians versus Pinguinis.
And both teams coming off losses. Guardians lost a heartbreaker to the Tigers. Pinguinis took a tough one versus Joe Kiethagoat.
Pinguinis desperately need this one. They've fallen out of the playoff picture completely.
But Guardians still have Cade, Maxey, Jalen Williams, Sar. Even with all those IR guys, they're dangerous.
This is one of the most important games of the week for playoff implications.
And we finish with a heavyweight battle. Z Tigers versus 2 balls, 1 hoop.
Anthony Edwards just had the top score in the entire league. Josh Hart was #2. Z Tigers are firing on all cylinders.
But don't forget, 2 balls, 1 hoop are still the top team in the East. Giannis, Brown, Murray, Derek White, that's a playoff caliber core.
This is a statement game for both teams. Z Tigers want the West crown. 2B1H want to prove they can beat elite teams. That wraps Week 7 previews. A lot of playoff movement could happen depending on these results.
When we come back, it's segment 4, banter and questions. The fun stuff.
You're listening to RCMP plus Fantasy Hoops. Don't go anywhere. All right, folks. It's time for everyone's favorite weekly stress test, the playoff picture check-in. We're through 5 weeks. Trends are real, frauds are exposed, and the standings are starting to harden like leftover pizza in the fridge. Let's start in the East.
Padfoot being in 6th is wild. A Curry team fighting for its life? That's sitcom-level drama. But hey, credit to the Guardians, they might be the most improved squad this season. And 2 balls, 1 hoop looks like they're allergic to falling below Hassan. Now let's slide to the West, where things are way louder.
I gotta say it. Ballers at 6 feels wrong. Jokic teams aren't built for 6th. Meanwhile, NDT being number 1 with Luka on the block is the most NDT thing ever.
And Power Bombers? If they ever get consistent wing scoring, the West might as well shut down operations. Also, how are the Alphas 4th with Westbrook and Kyrie on IR? Black magic.
And that's gonna do it for this week's RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops Breakdown. The standings are tightening. The playoff race is getting spicy. And we're officially in the part of the season where every GM starts sweating their depth pieces.
Yeah, injuries, trade, block drama, teams rising, teams collapsing. This is where champions start separating from the pretenders. And trust us, next week, it's gonna get even wilder once we start seeing who's actually built for the long haul.
Huge shout out to all the GMs from Notre Dame Time cruising in the West, to 2 balls, 1 hoop holding down the East. Keep grinding, keep scheming, keep making those sketchy trade offers.
We'll be back next week with the recap, power rankings, playoff picture, and whatever chaos the league cooks up between now and then.
For Tommy Douglas.
And PG.
We'll see you next week on the RCMP Plus Fantasy Hoops Podcast.